This city in Florida could be the best city to live in the entire state. And no, it's not Miami, and it's not even Orlando, but it's actually Tampa. And I know what you're thinking, Joe, are you serious? Tampa's the best city in all of Florida to live? Now hear me out. I didn't say it's the best one right this second, but it's definitely on its way. And there's a couple of great reasons why. Let's talk about it. But before we do, if you want to know more and anything there is to know about living here in the state of Florida, please hit the like and subscribe button. But now let's talk about why Tampa's going to be the best city to live in all of Florida. For starters, it seems like everyone and their mom is moving to Tampa. Any single person that you talk to, whether they're moving to Florida or they're relocating within the state, you ask them, hey, where are you moving to? Oh, I'm moving to Tampa. Oh, I'm moving to St. Pete. And we're going to lump St. Pete into this one for sake of example. Honestly, between you and I like St. Pete a little bit better, but for sake of the video, we're talking about Tampa. So, like I was saying, everyone thinks they're moving to Tampa, especially here in Miami. In Miami, most people are actually moving to Tampa. It's one of the top 5 feeder markets for Tampa. It goes Miami, Washington, D.C., Chicago, New York, as well as Boston. So it's pretty interesting that a Florida market's actually one of the top 5 feeder markets for another Florida city. But like I said, why? So let's start talking about the development. What's going on here in Tampa that's making everyone want to move here? So obviously, if there's more people moving here, there needs to be a lot of development going on as well. Actually, the city of Tampa says that the population here in Tampa is set to more than double the national average over the next 5 years. So obviously, not only we're going to have some development going on, we're also going to have some business going on as well. And business is booming here in Tampa. A numerous amount of companies have decided to either relocate or expand here in the Tampa area, including, but not limited to, ReliaQuest, Suzuki, USAA, Celsius Network, no, not the drinks, International Data Corp, OpSWAT, Genesis, Pfizer, and even Fisher Investments. And I'm talking about all the business and development going on here in Tampa. There's also 8 Fortune 1000 companies who are actually headquartered in Tampa as well. On top of that, there's 20 corporate headquarters here in Tampa. So there's a ton of jobs. There's a lot of stuff going on, and they're really trying to compete with that of Miami. I mean, Miami was seen to be like the Wall Street of the South, but if Tampa can kind of take that crown or even dip into tech a little bit where Miami's really trying to get a foothold, they can really get some momentum and start really growing the city and really competing with Miami to be the go-to city here in the state of Florida. On top of all the business development that's going on, there's also like real estate development. So there are a ton of hotels that are being built and opening here in Tampa, including the Midtown Hotel, the JW Marriott, as well as a Hotel Yaya, on top of numerous others. But one of the cool things about that JW Marriott is they do have a rooftop bar called Beacon, which is the second highest in the state of Florida. On top of that, they're also expanding the airports. They just got done with phase 1, which is expanding the terminals as well as a new rental car facility. Now they're starting on phase 2, which is with a Skybridge walkway for pedestrians, as well as express lanes and some new hotels. I know hotels are like a big thing going on right now with development. Interesting. On top of that, there is a lot of development going on with the Port of Tampa, along with the Convention Center, and not to mention, probably one of the most exciting is the Brightline. So if you're not familiar with the Brightline, it's South Florida's high-speed rail system, now into Central Florida and eventually to Tampa. So it pretty much goes right now from Miami to Orlando, but there's talks and development going on to bring it from Orlando to Tampa. So the station in Tampa would actually be in Ybor City, which would be clutch, so you can literally go back and forth between Tampa and right now the airport in Orlando, but they're going to open one up at the Orange County Convention Center. So being able to take the train instead of having to take I-4 would be a game changer for a ton of people. One of the big draws to Tampa that I think a lot of people really like is the lifestyle. So it is a lot of similarities between both South Florida as well as Orlando, and it's a great mix of both. So it's a nice meshing of all those different aspects of both South Florida and Orlando, and then you get it in Tampa. Plus, Tampa has its own flair and things as well. So for starters, you have everything there is on the water. So you have like the beaches, boating, kayaking, paddleboarding, and then you also have like hiking and outdoor activities, along with a lot of natural springs. So two of the best ones are like Crystal River Springs, as well as Three Sisters Springs. So whether you want to go to the beach in the ocean or the bay, or you want to go to a spring and kind of camp and do that, I mean, there's plenty of options, which is pretty cool because not a lot of places you can go to the beach and then you decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to go to a spring instead. So that gives you a little bit of flexibility. On top of that, there's plenty of new developments and areas to go and hang out in Tampa as well, including things like the Riverwalk, Hyde Park, Sparkman Wharf, Armature Works. I mean, there's a lot of new things coming here and there. On top of that, I mean, Tampa is a very outdoor lifestyle kind of community. So people are always outdoors, whether it's just walking their dog, hanging out, going for a run up and down Bayshore Boulevard. I mean, there's a ton of stuff to do, especially if you like to be outdoors. If you like to be outdoors, this is an excellent city for you. With that being said, one of the other things that a lot of people really enjoy about Tampa is the theme park. So yes, the only theme park in Tampa is Busch Gardens. However, you're only 85 miles to like downtown Orlando. So you're a little bit closer to like Disney, Universal, and SeaWorld. So if theme parks are your big thing, but you also want to be near the water, this is an excellent city for you. It's right there. On top of that, you're a pro sports fan. You have every pro sports team you could want. You have the Tampa Bay Rays for baseball, the Tampa Bay Lightning for hockey, who are actually winning, unlike the Florida Panthers. Then you also have the Tampa Bay Bucks. And yes, we thought that the Tampa boom was all because of Tom Brady, but now he's gone and people are still moving there. So obviously it wasn't just Tom, but he was like the pioneer. He was the first one to go. Just kidding. But he did help kind of kickstart things. And then if you're into basketball, the Orlando Magic actually aren't too far away either. Like I said, about 85 miles, so about an hour and a half drive from downtown Tampa to downtown Orlando. And last but definitely not least is the cost of living. That's going to be the reason that Tampa is the go-to city. I mean, there's so much growth and potential there. Let's talk about it. I mean, when cost of living, obviously we're talking about the real estate and stuff, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But cost of living goes back to everything. That's going out to eat, things to do, groceries, going out. I mean, all of that. Think about it. When you go out in South Florida, it is way more expensive than going out in Orlando or Tampa. Yes, Orlando and Tampa, I would say, are pretty on par with each other in terms of overall cost of living, but there are some nuances and things there. Then on the real estate side of it, I mean, there is a plethora of opportunity here in Tampa, as well as in Orlando. Not to say there's not a lot of opportunity in South Florida, but South Florida's creeping up there and being expensive. I mean, you take the same home and you put it from Tampa and you put it in Miami, it's going to be like triple the cost of what it is in Tampa. So let's talk about kind of where we're looking at in terms of real estate prices in all three cities. In Tampa, the median sales price right now is $414,000. So definitely not too bad at all. In Orlando, the median sales price is $395,000. Yes, it is a little bit cheaper and there's some give and take there. So, however, I mean, $20,000 are right around the same range. And then in South Florida, and more specifically Miami, the median sales price right now is $570,000. So a significant jump from both Orlando and Tampa to Miami. So you can kind of see now, hey, this might be why a lot of people from Miami are moving to both cities and more specifically moving to Tampa. But what other options there? I mean, what else is it looking like in terms of real estate? Well, there is a ton of new construction options, both in the Tampa and the greater Tampa area. Most of these are townhomes and single-family homes. However, there are more and more condos being built in Tampa. A lot of them are being built in downtown St. Pete as well. And your average starting or your lowest starting price for new construction right now in the Tampa area is only $260,000. Plus, you get great builder incentives where they're covering all your closing costs most likely. Plus, sometimes buying down your interest rate, it's almost like a no-brainer to buy new construction. And if you're wondering, hey, should I buy new construction or what should I do? What are some of the benefits of it? I'm gonna link a video right up above about what are some of the benefits about buying new construction and kind of just help make that decision a little bit easier for you. But back to why the cost of living is one of the biggest reasons for people wanting to move to Tampa. I mean, another thing is the rankings of some of the suburbs. According to niche.com, Tampa has the #1 ranked suburb in the entire state of Florida, and that suburb is West Chase. And if you're wondering where West Chase is, it's just west of the airport. So not necessarily right near downtown Tampa, but it's still close enough to everything. You're actually almost kind of equidistant to like the beach and to downtown Tampa. So it's in a clutch location. So I'm telling you, Tampa is on its way to being the #1 go-to city to live here in the state of Florida. Miami better watch its back. I mean, South Florida in general better watch its back. Yes, it is a completely different lifestyle than South Florida, but you can see everything that's in place right now in Tampa and all the development, things going on, plus the people moving there, all the different infrastructure. It's going to be very interesting to see how Tampa does develop. And by no means is it a second-tier city. It's just nowhere near on the same level as South Florida. However, with all the things going on, it is an awesome place to live. So let me know in the comments down below. Would you live in Tampa, or do you think South Florida or Orlando are a better place to live? And if you're looking to make a move, whether it's in Tampa, Orlando, or even South Florida, or anywhere here in the state of Florida, me and my team would love to be your real estate resource of choice. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or invest, please shoot us an email, joe@theveragroup.com.